I think it's time we finally talk about the true victims of the coronavirus lockdown and quarantine, which is, of course, the middle aged, short tempered Karens. These brave women have been trapped at home for the last month with no one to complain to except their anti vax Facebook groups, no one to yell at besides their husbands, no managers that they can speak to. They have all of this rage bottled up inside of them, but nowhere public to melt down and let it all out in a nuclear explosion of screeching and screaming and threatening lawsuits. But the good news is things are opening up again, which means the Karens now can go back out into society and make it a worse place. So please join me on this adventure. I'll be your host. I'll be like fucking David Attenborough here, and let's observe the Karens going back to their natural habitats after their hibernation.
Fuck you!
Ah, wonderful. A chain-smoking middle-aged woman with her siren song, such an angelic melody, true mastery over her divine vocal cords, able to deliver this banshee's wail, fuck you.
No, it's not enough!
Park your car.
No!
Like, what the hell?
You better get the fuck away from me. Fuck you!
We have a car.
The wild Karen's sharp instincts kick in, hearing the sound of potential danger. She feels as though the essential oils in the backseat of her car are threatened by a potential predator, so she lashes out blindly, hoping that the guttural shouts and puffing of her feathers will be enough to scare away the enemy.
Yeah, this is a roadway over here, man. Can you please move your
Everyone
car?
better stop fucking yelling at me right now, as I'm not fucking moving.
Can you please move your car?
Thank
This is the exact
you.
same-
She didn't mean that thank you, that wasn't sincere at all. I'm starting to get the feeling that she's just not a very pleasant person to be around.
Park over here, we'll park for you. Okay?
I don't listen to you either. Shield, listen, you short fucking piece of shit.
Now you've gone too far, lady, out here looking like the substitute teacher at Hogwarts for the Defense Against the Dark Arts course. Fucking scary looking loud lady, fucking hanging out in this drive-thru looking straight out of a 1970s newspaper comic strip. Truly rude from this woman here. This woman looks like menopause. She looks like if menopause was a person.
Okay? Grow
How's
some,
that? She called me a short fucking piece of shit.
grow some
Get
fucking
the fuck out
balls,
of here.
baby. Grow some fucking balls.
Shut the fuck up and leave. We're
No,
blocking traffic
I'm
over
not
here.
moving. Talk all the fuck you want, all you fucking Hawaiians. The white lady's fucking crazy. You can talk all the fuck that you want, you fucking motherfucker. No, it's not enough. It is not.
Unfortunately, that's where the video ends, but I don't think her anger stopped there. As you could hear, she was still screaming, still going in really hard. I half expected her to take a baseball bat to her own car just out of the confusion from the anger, just hurt itself in the confusion. It is truly baffling how someone can get this upset and have so little shame to just do it in public like this. And I think that's what makes Karens so special. They don't have that level of shame or self-awareness, so they keep going out and embarrassing themselves. And since they've been locked up for a month, they have a month's worth of embarrassment to catch up on. So they're really kind of speedrunning that because there's been so many of these things going on. I'll show you a few of them. Let's keep going.
People here that's enjoying themselves. Okay? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the last part. Now what are you doing? Now what are you doing? Hey sweetheart, there's kids here. There's kids here.
This one was actually one of the saddest ones and most embarrassing in my opinion. This is a Karen that's been heckling a group of street performers that are performing for these people that are just now leaving their house for the first time in a month, just to give them something else to think about and entertain them. And Karen said, well, I can't imagine anyone having fun. I'm pretty miserable. Everyone should be miserable. She's like Dr. Zalost from Courage the Cowardly Dog, very unhappy, so she's shooting her cannonballs of unhappiness at everyone around her. So she just plants herself here. She gives this very incredible Ginyu Force pose here with the double middle fingers. Really bold stuff.
There's kids here. There's kids. Oh, you should have some respect, sweetheart. Please, thank you. Could you please leave? Could you please leave? Please.
She refuses to leave. This is a 4-part TikTok video. I didn't even know TikTok had anything other than just shitty lip singing and dancing, so this was kind of an interesting surprise. And I'd like to bring attention to this. I know I'm no major fashion icon myself, but I do have to say I don't understand her sock decision here with the different links. It's like Titus from Final Fantasy X with his pants. She has a sock that goes up to her knee and the other one's an ankle sock. So that right there tells me that she just desperately craves attention, so she's trying her best to be unique and not like the other girls with her fashion by having different lengths of socks, which is kind of sad, but it also fits in line with what she's doing here, making herself the center of attention for no reason and at the cost of everyone else's fun.
Sweetheart, we're doing flips and here for format. Can you please move over? You were just standing right there. Why would you come right here in our way? Can you move over? Can you please? Can you move over? Can you please move over? Please? Please? Can you please leave? Can you please leave?
Spoilers, she doesn't leave. She's made up her decision. She is going to ruin everyone else's day because her day and most of her days are apparently not very good. So she's taking it out on everyone around her. And this persists for a long time. I'm not going to show every part from this very pathetic saga here, but I am going to show a little bit. We'll go to part 2 now.
No, you don't have to give her anything. Don't.
One of the mothers from the crowd is begging with the lady to please leave because they want to watch the show, and of course, the Karen refuses to do that. But what I find extremely interesting about this part, as you just heard, some woman in the crowd express support for what she's doing by saying it's a public square, she can stand wherever the fuck she wants. I think that is incredible. I will never understand how people can see behavior like what this woman is doing and be like, you know what? I agree with that. She should be allowed to ruin everyone else's day. It's a free country. If I want to ruin everyone else's day because I'm fucking miserable, I can do it. And fuck all of you. I like that the crowd stood up and said fuck off and told that lady to leave and she immediately left. I just have to wonder how. This is huge. Everyone, no matter what, will always have supporters. No matter how heinous and unlikable you are, there's always going to be people that will support you. I don't know if that's uplifting for some people to hear or not, but I think it's depressing. There should be objectively wrong ways of handling things, and this is one of those from this Karen standing here ruining the day, and yet still someone finds a way to support it. Crazy to me.
We're gonna wake this place up. Follow me, fellas. Let's wake this place up. Everybody wants the Soul Brothers back. Follow me, fellas.
Luckily, this fairy tale does have a happy ending. The police show up and escort her the fuck out of there, which is great news for everyone there. It's pretty wild how long it went on for, though. The police had enough time to walk over there and get her out before she left. That's a long time of just making the atmosphere worse around her. And I know she's going to go home and think that she was in the right. She probably talked about it on Facebook groups about how brave she was. And, everyone clapped when she ruined the performance. Everyone was thrilled with her stand for justice or some shit. So the delusion, I'm sure, is still there. I don't think she had any amount of self-reflection or awareness for what she did or how bad she is as a person for this kind of shit. But that's Karen's in a nutshell. Let's move on to the next one.
3 inches away from our fucking car. I couldn't even get into my fucking car. I had to climb over.
Oh, but you're sitting in it?
I had to climb over, dumbass. Did you not hear what I just fucking said?
While yes, that experience does sound traumatic, there was another way of approaching this situation. You could have backed the car up and then got in normally. You chose to climb over the driver's seat and turn that shit into a playground to get there.
Just fucking stop.
God.
If you post that, I will sue you, you stupid.
Yeah,
right
we'll
ahead.
sue you because you
Go
can't
right
post
ahead.
someone's face on the internet
right ahead.
without permission.
I'm gonna go.
For some reason, these Karens that spend the majority of their life on Facebook and reading 50 Shades of Grey fanfic still don't seem to understand that you can't sue someone for recording you in a public situation. But I do like the way she phrases that. You can't put someone's face on the internet without their permission. It reminds me of Arthur, where you can't go on the internet and tell lies. It has that same level of innocence to it to a certain degree, but I think it's time they finally get educated on Facebook instead of just believing in these fucking weird conspiracy theories and shit, to understand that yes, it is totally legal to record in public.
Parked on top of my car. She's videotaping us illegally. She's talking shit.
It's not illegal. They're threatening me. She told me she hopes I get raped by a pitchfork, and I'm gonna go to the cops, and I need evidence.
So what is the problem? They park it.
I couldn't get into my car. I had
She
to
had to
climb
over my
over.
seat because they
And
parked
then
so
when we
fucking
were
close.
talking about it, about how close they parked, she came and went, "Oh, you stupid ass bitch, you want to talk?"
Wrong. I told
That's
you
how
my
we started.
boyfriend did not hit your car because you
She
said if
fucking
my
hit on
boyfriend hit
me
your
with
car, you were
bitch,
gonna
bitch,
call the
bitch.
cops.
Yeah, this shit is devolving into elementary school shit really fast, and the security guard clearly wants nothing to do with it. He leaves like a second after he just says, hey, can you guys just handle it, and he just walks away. Respect to that guy, because who the fuck wants to be in the middle of this?
Stop arguing with the stupid fucking whore. If you keep arguing with the fucking whore, they keep arguing with you.
If I find that video online, I'm fucking suing you and I'm calling the cops and they're gonna come get your ass.
I do appreciate that threat right there from her. You know, that's some Xbox Live shit. My dad works at Bungie, and he'll get you banned if you steal my sniper again. It has that same level of energy, so there is a level of intimidation in there. That's pretty much where the video ends. It's just back and forth of just like baby whining, like baby raging at each other. I don't know. It's not even like insulting anymore. It's just kind of like actual whining. But yeah, all over a parking spot. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
You're the one with the Christ thing on your car, you dumbass! Fuck you, man!
I think there's something about cars that really tap into the primal rage receptors of the Karens, because a lot of the Karen outbursts happen around vehicles, so it's kind of like this catalyst for explosion among the Karens. It's very interesting. It helps channel their aggression and really bring it to the highest level it can be.
You impotent piece of shit! I hope your kids get cancer! What are you looking at?
She's all over the place now, attacking the spectators. She sounds like Miss Piggy having a fit, throwing a weird little tantrum here. She's speaking as if she's writing this shit on Twitter from behind the computer monitor, but in real life you can't hide behind an anime profile pic, so now she's just got her face attached to this despicable shit.
What are you filming me, you sick fuck? Is that funny to you?
Honestly, a pretty thrilling conclusion. I would have liked to see where it went, because she was clearly in hot pursuit, like some Mad Max shit, honking that horn, coming in hot. But unfortunately, there's no more to that video. But yeah, there's been a ton of Karen sightings and incidences over the last week or so. I just felt it wasn't necessary to show every single one. I think these kind of represent the general attitude of how it's been getting reacclimated to the, you know, Karen meltdowns out in the world. Now that they've allowed to leave their homes, and you know, they don't have to keep tapping into the wine cellar reserves. So it's getting wild out there again, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah.